Students, so now last video you learned about the channel capacity of symmetrical channels, right? So now you are going to learn about two types of symmetrical channels. One is called as the binary symmetric channel and the other is the binary erasure channel, right? Both the channels are very simple. So now let's look at how to find the channel capacity of this channel. Okay, so what is the meaning of binary symmetric channel? We all know what is the meaning of the term binary. Binary means only two messages, right? So you already know what kind of a channel is this. We are always seeing this kind of a channel for almost in all our digital communications. In all our communications between any digital devices, you are seeing this kind of a channel, binary symmetric channel. So what is binary? What is the meaning of the term binary? Which means that the transmitter will transmit two messages, right, or two symbols, and we all know what are those two symbols. It is 0 and 1. It will either transmit 0 or it will either transmit 1, right? And also the receiver will receive two symbols, and that it will either receive 0 or it will either receive 1. That is why this channel is called as binary channel, because both the transmissions, the number of transmission symbols and the number of receiver symbols is equal to 2. It will either be 0 or it will either be 1. The transmitter will either transmit 0 or it will either transmit 1. The receiver will either receive 0 or it will receive 1, right? So this is why it's called as the binary channel, right? So how is the working of this channel is? See, for that, if you want to explain what is the working of this binary channel, this binary symmetric channel, so you see there is something you'll be learning it for the first time. Very simple. You'll be learning about what you have already heard somewhere, is this diagram, channel diagram. What is channel diagram? The channel diagram of a binary symmetrical channel. You can express the channel diagram in terms of any channels, right? If you know the number of messages and if you know the probability of transmitting every message and receiving every message. If you know all these things, you can draw the channel diagram. How to draw the channel diagram? So first I look at the transmitter. So you see how many messages are there. The transmitter is going to transmit 2 messages, right? So I'm going to mark those 2 messages as a 2 small circle. Okay, 2 small circle or 2 small dots, right? So these 2 circles, this circle represents the symbol 0 and this circle represents the symbol 1, right? That means if the transmitter is going to transmit 0, I will be choosing this circle. If the transmitter is going to transmit 1, I will be choosing this circle. Okay, and also at the receiver side, okay, also the receiver side also there is, I'm going to draw 2 circles because there are 2 received symbols, 0 and 1. So I'm going to represent that using these 2 circles. That is, this 0 represents when the receiver has received the message 0, and this circle represents when the receiver has received the symbol 1. Okay, so now how this channel diagram is being drawn is that if we all know, if the transmitter is transmitted 0, then the receiver should receive 0. Okay, when the transmitter is transmitted 0, the receiver should receive 0. That is the correct communication, right? So that probability I'm calling it as the small letter Q. Also, when the transmitter is transmitting 1, then the receiver should also receive 1. That probability I am representing as the same letter Q. So what is Q? Q is the probability that when the transmitter transmits 0, the receiver will receive 0. Or Q is the probability that when the receiver is received 0, when 0 is being transmitted. Also, Q is also defined as when the receiver receives 1 when 1 is being transmitted. So that is Q. Q means the correct probability, right? The probability of correct. That is what Q means. But this is not the only transmission takes place, right? We all know that mistakes can happen, error can take place in any communication channel, right? So what happens if an error occurs in this channel? Since there are only two symbols at the transmitter and two symbols at the receiver, what will happen if there's an error? Sometimes the transmitter will transmit as 0, but the receiver will interpret it as 1. That is a possible scenario, right? That can happen, right? That also can happen. The transmitter will transmit 0 and the receiver will receive 1. That probability I am calling it as P. And likewise, the transmitter will be transmitting 1, but the receiver will be receiving 0. That is also another wrong transmission. That probability also I am calling it as P, which means P is what you call as the probability of error. P is called as the probability of error, right? So this is what you call as the channel diagram. The channel diagram represents the messages, and for every messages we will be representing all the channels will be representing using an arrow mark lines, and on top of the arrow mark lines we will be writing the probability of that particular transmission. Probability of that the probability of that particular transmission when it takes place. That is the meaning. So here what it means is that the probability that 0 is transmitted and 0 is received, or I could say the probability that 0 is received when 0 was transmitted is Q. Likewise, probability that 0 was received but 1 was transmitted is P. So therefore I can say with confidence that P is called as the probability of error. This is what you call as the channel diagram. The reason why I am explaining this using the channel diagram is because from this channel diagram I can express my channel matrix. You already know this. P of y by x, the conditional probability. What is the conditional probability? The conditional probability, since there are only two messages, right? Two transmission, two receiver messages. So therefore, what is P of y by x? Which means M is equal to 2. Number of transmission symbols is 2 and number of received messages also equal to 2, right? So which means here in the matrix, how do you represent it? That is probability that y is equal to 0. That is the receiver has received 0 when x is equal to 0. This means that the probability that the receiver has received 0 when we know that the transmitter has transmitted 0. Likewise, this represents P of y equal to 1 slash x is equal to 0. This represents when the receiver has received 1 when the transmitter has transmitted 0. Likewise, P of y equal to 0 slash x is equal to 1. This probability represents when the receiver has received 0 when 1 was transmitted, and P probability of y equal to 1 slash x is equal to 1. This represents the probability that 1 is received when 1 was transmitted. This is the probability, and we can write all these values by simply looking at the channel diagram. Therefore, P of y by x is equal to, so what is when y is equal to 0 and when the condition is x is equal to 0, what do we call that? What's the probability of that? It is Q, right? And what is the probability that when y is equal to 1 and x is equal to 0? That is P. What is the probability that y is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1? Y is equal to 0, x is equal to 1. What is the probability? That is also P. And what is the probability that y is equal to 1 and x is equal to, when x is equal to 1? That is Q. See, this is the conditional probability matrix of binary symmetric channel. And now you know why it is called as the symmetric channel. It is called, we all know what is the meaning of the term symmetric or uniform channel, right? Symmetric channel means, since we are using P of y by x, if symmetric channel means all the elements are there in every row except the positions are different. You see, the first row and the second row are actually same, only difference is the position of the elements. They are only the positions are interchanged, but all the elements are there. Here Q and P is there, here P and Q is there. That is why this is called as a symmetric channel. This is what you call as the binary symmetric channel, right? From here, so what is the you also learn what is the advantage of having a symmetric channel, because the conditional entropy, if you want to find h of y by x, all you need to do is simply find the entropy of any one row. It's nothing but p log 1 by p plus q log 1 by q. That's it. See, very easy. That is why this is called as the conditional entropy. That is why it's called as the symmetric channel, right? So we found this. Now I need to find h of y. Okay, I want to find h of y from here. If you want to find the channel capacity, you have to find the mutual information, and from the mutual information you need to find h of y, because Ixy is equal to h of y minus h of y by x. That's why. So I need to find h of y. So how do I find my h of y? How to find h of y from here? If you want to find h of y, you cannot find h of y. If you want to find h of y, you need to find p of y, right? You need to find p of y, and if you want to find p of y, then you cannot find p of y directly from here. It is impossible. You can only find p of y from the joint probability matrix. You cannot find p of y from the conditional probability, right? Which means if you want to find p of y, then you have to find p of x comma y. You have to find the joint probability matrix. And how do you find the joint probability matrix? From here, that's very easy. You see, to find that, we all know that there are only two transmission messages, right? 0 and 1. So I'm saying let alpha be the probability that 0 is transmitted. 0 is transmitted. Let alpha be the probability that 0 is transmitted. If alpha is the probability that 0 is being transmitted, then what is the probability that 1 is transmitted? It is 1 minus alpha. Therefore, 1 minus alpha is the probability. It's the probability that 1 is transmitted. Okay, 1 is transmitted, which means, in other words, I'm saying that p of x is equal to 0. Probability that x is equal to 0 is equal to alpha, and probability that x is equal to 1 is equal to 1 minus alpha. Or in other words, p of x, the probability of the transmitter, is equal to alpha comma 1 minus alpha. In that case, what is h of x, the entropy of the transmitter? It is alpha log 1 by alpha plus 1 minus alpha log 1 by 1 minus alpha. See, now you found h of x, right? So why I'm using this p of x, why I'm finding the value of p of x, is because you already know this. You have written so many times. That is p of y by x. P of y by x is actually equal to p of x comma y by p of x, right? Or in other words, p of x comma y is equal to p of y by x into p of x, right? And so, like I said, I want to find my joint probability matrix. So if you want to find the joint probability matrix, you need p of y by x and p of x. P of y by x, I already know. I already know what is p of y by x, and I have just found out what is p of x. So it's very easy now to find my p of xy, right? So how to find my p of xy? All you need to do is multiply every element of p from p of x with every row wise in the p of y by x matrix. Row wise you multiply, which means I'm going to multiply alpha, my first element alpha, in the first row, then I'm going to multiply 1 minus alpha in the second row. That is p of xy. Very easy, right? Which means p of xy is nothing but first element is alpha, first element over here is q, first row is q and then p, which means if I multiply q and p with alpha, the first row will become q alpha and in here it will become P alpha, right? And the second row, it is P and then Q. The second row is P and Q. So I'm going to multiply second row with 1 minus alpha. What will I get? I will get P into 1 minus alpha, and second the other element is Q into 1 minus alpha. So this is my joint probability matrix. Why I am using the reason why is joint probability matrix is that from joint probability matrix, you already know from joint probability matrix you can find any probability, right? You can find any probability from joint probability matrix. If you want to find P of X, simply add the elements row wise, and if you want to find P of Y, simply add the elements column wise. We did a problem based on this, right? How to find the all other probabilities from the joint probability matrix. Exactly the same technique I'm using over here. So that means my P of Y is nothing but adding column wise. The first element will be Q alpha plus P into 1 minus alpha. This is my first element, comma, and my second element is adding the elements in the second column. It will be P alpha plus Q into 1 minus alpha. This is my second element. You see, this is my first element, this is my second element, right? This is the probability of receiving 0. This is the probability of receiving 1. That's what these two actually means. So now I can tell you what is H of Y, right? H of Y is nothing but, like I said, H of Y is nothing but this is the one probability, this is the other probability. So in terms of the first probability, it will be P log 1 by P. So it will become Q alpha plus P into 1 minus alpha, right? Log 1 by Q alpha plus P into 1 minus alpha. That is the information of the first element, plus what about the information of the second element? It will be plus, okay, P alpha plus Q into 1 minus alpha is the probability log of reciprocal of that probability, that is P alpha plus Q into 1 minus alpha. This is my entropy of the receiver. Okay, so now I found H of Y, and I have already found what is H of Y by X, right? I have found what is H of Y by X. I have written that, right? Where is H of Y by X? Yeah, here. H of Y by X is also this H of Y by X. H of Y by X is P log 1 by P plus Q log 1 by Q. So I found H of Y and I found H of Y by X. So which means now I can conveniently find my mutual information. The equation for mutual information is I of xy is equal to H of Y minus H of Y minus H of Y by X, where H of Y is equal to this equation and H of Y by X is equal to this equation. This is my mutual information equation. Okay, so now from here I can find my channel capacity. So how to find the channel capacity from here, from my mutual information? For that, the only way is that you need, like I already said, the entropy is maximum when the messages are equiprobable. So the messages, when does the message become equiprobable? When you don't know which message is being transmitted, right? If you don't know which message is transmitted, both of them have equal probability. Both of them have equal probability, which means, in other words, the value of alpha must be equal to 0.5. That is what it means. The value of alpha must be equal to 0.5. This can only happen when alpha is equal to 0.5, because when alpha is equal to 0.5, then P of x of 0 is equal to 0.5 and P of x of is equal to 1 is also equal to 0.5. 50-50%. We don't know which one is being transmitted, 0 or 1. But you don't have to do all that over here, because you already know what is the equation for a channel capacity if the channel is symmetric. The equation you have already studied before, that is C is equal to log n minus h. So this makes the equation very much more and more simpler, which simply substitute the value of n and h. What is the value of n? Like I already said, n is equal to 2, right? N is equal to 2, which means this is equal to log 2 minus, and what is the equation for h? Small letter h means this H of y by x is called as the small letter h, right? We have seen that before, which means this is minus P log 1 by P plus Q log 1 by Q. right? And what is log 2? What is log 2? Log 2, remember the base is 2, okay? So what is log 2 to the base 2? It is 1. Log 2 to the base 2. Log of any number to that same number is 1. So this is 1 minus p log 1 by p, p log 1 by p minus q log 1 by q, or this is nothing but the channel capacity is nothing but 1 plus p log p plus q log q. This is the equation for the channel capacity of a binary symmetrical channel. This is the channel capacity of a binary symmetrical channel. And like I already said, that if you substitute this big equation over here, if you substitute this big equation, h of y equation over here, and if you substitute this h of y by x over here, you will get this answer when and only when the value of alpha must be equal to 0.5. In other words, p of x are equal to 0 is equal to p of x is equal to 1 is equal to 0.5 if p of x of is equal to 0 and p of x is equal to 1 is equal to 0.5, then c is equal to 1 plus p log p plus q log q, right? This is the channel capacity. The maximum, we all know the maximum channel capacity is nothing but the maximum value of the mutual information, right? So this value becomes maximum only when the messages are equiprobable. Okay, so there are two ways of finding the channel capacity. One is the long way, the other is the short way, and I applied the shortcut method because we have already derived this equation. C is equal to log n minus h. So you don't have to apply the big method. That is why I apply this shortcut method. From here I can find my C is equal to 1 plus P log P plus Q log Q. Right? So now this is all very easy to understand. Theoretically to talk about this and all, I can say many lot of things and blah 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 and all that for many long time. But the problem with this channel, the main problem with this channel is that this is very easy. This is so simple that there's so many questions are not being asked. See, like I said over here about this channel diagram, that is here if the 0 is transmitted, 0 is received, 1 is transmitted, 1 is received. But also when there is a chance of going wrong also, right? There's a chance that error can take place. So if 0 is transmitted and when the receiver makes a mistake, if 0 is transmitted and when 1 is being received, or if the receiver makes a mistake or misplaces or makes an error thinking that 1 is being received, then how does the receiver is able to correct it? How will the receiver will be able to correct that mistake? That is not being addressed in this channel diagram. Means once if an error takes place, what will happen? That is not being addressed in this channel diagram. How is that error is being corrected? How will it be able to detect that error and how it will be able to correct that error? That is not shown in this channel diagram. That is the problem with this channel diagram. This channel diagram is so easy that lots of information is still missing from this. So that is the problem with this binary symmetric channel. It's too easy. So since it is becomes so easy, the block diagram or the functioning of it is not enough. It's not enough for a binary symmetric channel. It is not enough that you use only a transmitter and you use a channel and it's all a receiver. It's not enough, because if you do that, then you have not addressed the issue of what will happen if an error has taken place. See, let me just tell you that. See, we all know for any simple communication channel, 3 elements are there, right? We need a source, we need a channel, and we need a receiver. Okay, so I'm going to draw a binary source. Let me draw. The first block diagram will be a binary source. Let me write that. Or a binary transmitter, whatever. Okay, I will write binary source. Okay. And this fellow over here will either transmit 0 or 1. Okay. This will either transmit 0 or 1. I am calling it as x. That means the value of x can either be 0 or 1. Okay, and then this binary source will transmit it into the channel, and the channel we are going to use is the same channel, the binary symmetric channel. Okay, BSC. You will be using the same channel, the binary symmetrical channel. So this transmitter will pass through this channel, and then this channel will pass this message, or will propagate this message to the receiver. So the receiver will receive the message, right? So this is called as the receiver. The receiver will receive this message. Okay, and once when this receiver receives the message, it will interpret it as Y. Okay, so let Y be the received message. X is the transmitted message, Y is the received message. So when X is equal to 0 and then Y is equal to 0, then everything is okay. Likewise, when 1 is transmitted and when 1 is received, that is also okay. But what will happen if 0 is transmitted and 1 is received? Or what will happen if 1 is transmitted and 0 is received? That is not addressed in the channel diagram. So for that, only these three elements is not enough. That is what I said. The transmitter, channel and receiver is not enough. You need one more block also. What we need is you need an error correction block, right? Every communication system has that. You learned about this in your previous semesters also. You need an error correction block that will correct the value of Y, right? It will correct the value of Y, and then it will give out the correct value of the received signal. We call that as the estimate, the correct signal, the corrected signal, okay, of the received signal. So what does this value does? What does this error correction does? Or when error correction is required? You see, for that, what is needed is that first we need to compare the value of X and Y. We need to compare the value of X and Y. So the value of X and Y can only be compared using what you call as the comparator. Let me draw that, the comparator. So this comparator is used to compare the transmitted message with the received message. It will compare the two signals. It will compare the value of Y and it will compare the value of X, and then it will give that result to another system. It will communicate with another system, and that system I'm calling it as the observer. The observer is nothing but a noiseless channel. A noiseless channel. Mind you, this is not a binary symmetrical channel. This is another channel used only for the purpose of communicating with the error correction. This is called as the observer noiseless channel. So what this observer noiseless channel does is that, you see, when the value of X and Y is being compared, it will give that result to the observer, right? And what the observer does is that, looking at the result, the observer will generate an error corrected signal to the error correction block. That signal is called as Z. That signal is called as Z, right? So how this thing works is that, suppose, all right, assume that X is equal, suppose if X is equal to 0, if X is equal to 0, okay, and Y is equal to 0, that means the correct transmission has taken place, which means no error correction is required, right? So which means when the comparator compares these two signals, X is equal to 0 and Y is equal to 0, which means the comparator has not found any mistake, so it will pass that information to the observer, and the observer will generate the signal Z is equal to 0. The observer will generate a signal Z is equal to 0, which means that no error has taken place. Z equal to 0, which means 0 will be transmitted to the error correction block, because no changes required. But suppose if x is equal to 0 is transmitted but y is equal to 1 is received, in such a case then error has taken place. So if an error has taken place, if these two symbols are different, then the comparator will receive that message. The comparator will receive that message that the two signals are different, and it will pass that information to the observer. And then what the observer does is, the observer will make the value of the signal z, will make the value of z is equal to 1, which means z is equal to 1 will be passed to the error correction block. Will be passed to the error correction block. Then what? So if the value of z is equal to 1, whatever value comes over here, that opposite will be replaced. The opposite value will be replaced and taken to the output. Which means if x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1, then z becomes 1. And if z becomes 1, then the received signal will be corrected. Likewise, if x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1, then no error takes place, right? So the transmission is correct. So which means no error correction is required, which means when the comparator compares these two signals, the difference is equal to 0. So it will pass that information to the observer, and the observer will generate z is equal to 0 signal to the error correction block, because no change is required. That's why z is equal to 0. But when x is equal to 1 and then y is equal to 0, then an error has taken place. And if the error takes place, on comparing these two values, the comparator will pass the information to the observer, right? Will pass the information to the observer, and the observer will make the value of z is equal to 1, which means 1 will be transmitted to the error correction. So which means it will overturn the the value of this received signal, or make the opposite of the received signal, right? This is the perfect binary symmetrical channel system. A communication channel having a binary symmetric channel must have some kind of a comparator. It must have some kind of an error correction device. It must have an observer. The main purpose of the observer is to transmit the signal to the error correction. And what kind of a signal will it transmit? It will transmit P of z is equal to 0 when there is no error, right? And also it will transmit P of z is equal to 1 when error has taken place. You see, because in the system what I have explained here, when is the probability of error taking place? Two scenarios, right? Either when x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1, or x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 0. That means the probability of error takes place under two conditions, under two scenarios, or under two cases. One is when P of x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1, that is when the transmitter has transmitted 0 and the receiver has received 1, or means plus. The probability that x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 0. That means the transmitter has transmitted 1 but the receiver has mistaken it as a 0, right? So in that case, we all know what is the value of this, right? We all know, I have already told you that we have written that is P of x comma y is equal to what it is P of y by x into P of x, right? P of y by x into P of x. What is P of y by x? What is P of y by x over here? What is P of y by x? P of x is equal to, that is, let me write like that, P of when y is equal to 1 slash x is equal to 0 into probability that x is equal to 0 plus, and what about this one? Applying the same equation over here, probability that y is equal to 0 when x is equal to 1 into probability that x is equal to 1, right? So what is the probability that y is equal to 1 and x is equal to 0? What is the probability that y is equal to 1 and x is equal to y equal to 1 and x is equal to 0? It is P into what is P of x of 0? We already told you that P of x of 0 is equal to alpha, and alpha is equal to 0.5, which means it is P into 0.5. P into 0.5 plus what is P of y is equal to 0 when x is equal to 1? P of y is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1. when P of y is equal to 0, x is equal to 1 is also P, right? P into, and what is P of x is equal to 1? P of x is equal to 1 is equal to 1 minus alpha, but alpha we have already seen that alpha is equal to 0.5, which means this is also equal to 0.5, which means this is nothing but 0.5 p plus 0.5 p. What is 0.5 p plus 0.5 p? It is p itself, and I already told you that p is nothing but the probability of error. See, this is how everything comes back to its equation, which actually means that the value of probability of error, I already told you when z is equal to 1, when the probability of error has taken place. So since probability of error is equal to p, then the probability that z is equal to 1 is also equal to p, right? The probability that z is equal to 1 is also equal to p, and if the probability of z is equal to 1 is equal to p, then the probability of z is equal to 0 is actually equal to 1 minus p, and 1 minus p is nothing but q, the correct probability, right? Because z is equal to 0 means no error has taken place, which means correct transmission. So what is the probability of correct transmission? It is q. And z is equal to 1 takes place when there is an error, when there is a wrong transmission, which means there is an error in the transmission. So what is the probability of error? It is p. So in other words, what is h of z? In that case, what is h of z? H of z is nothing but probability when z is equal to 0 log of 1 by probability that z is equal to 0 plus probability that z is equal to 1 log of 1 by probability that z is equal to 1. And or in other words, what is the probability z is equal to 0? Q log 1 by q plus what is the probability that z is equal to 1? P. So p log 1 by p. This is this is the entropy of z, not x. Entropy of z, right? Entropy of the observer, right? Now look at h of z and look at h of y by x. Compare h of z with h of y by x. What do you see? This actually means that h of z is actually equal to h of y by x. We all know what is h of y by x. H of y by x is the amount of information the receiver does not know about the transmitter, right? That is h of y by x, the conditional entropy, the amount of information the receiver does not know about the transmitter even after receiving the transmission symbol. But look at this, h of z is actually equal to this, which means that same information that the receiver does not know, this observer will give that information to the receiver, which means the observer is sitting here in order to help the receiver, in order to give the additional information, the additional missing information, h of y by x, the additional missing information to the receiver. Then only the system is complete. This actually tells you the importance of having an error correction system for a binary symmetrical channel. Okay.